I had one bad situation with an ex where like he basically said like, oh, obviously when I got with you, I knew that I was going to gain a following.
That is just horrible, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think I'd lose my shit.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it was kind of sad, but from now on, it's very difficult, I'd say.
Would you ever come out with your own brand?
Yeah, so I am. It is so perfect. Like, I have aced this brand to a T now. It's really funny because all my memories on Snapchat came up from 4 years ago, me writing a mood board of this brand.
for this specific
For
brand.
this brand.
Now that is manifestation. That's what we did with White Fox when Jessie went. I was like, can I come as a +1? And I was like, Tim, and I was like, I'll get in dresses. Like, it'll be good content.
It would be great content.
Yeah,
I'd love to see you in like a cheetah print dress walking in.
They didn't buy it though. Welcome back to Agree to Disagree, the podcast hosted by two lovebirds, two people who are very much in love. Myself, Will Young, and my beautiful, sexy Sheila of a girlfriend, Jessie Wynter.
Today we are super excited because we have a little rock star as our guest. Today we have Ami.
Hey guys. Hey.
So Ami is only 17 years old.
Yeah,
And
nearly
you-
18, getting there.
Nearly,
now.
she's always there. And you've got 3.7 million followers on TikTok.
Yeah.
And not only do you have followers on TikTok, but you have made one hell of a career out of it. And you're literally only 17.
I try my best.
You're honestly doing such an amazing job. So anyone that doesn't know Ami, give us a link to your TikTok.
It's just Ami Charlize on everything. I feel like I just keep my usernames the same to not confuse everyone, but I'm literally on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube,
everything.
Everything. I try everything. It's great.
Okay, we want to know, you've just recently got back from Coachella.
Oh my God, yeah. Can you not
Okay.
tell?
I know.
You
you've
can
got, like,
tell. I've got like
it's-
the raspiest voice right now.
The husky dust.
Yeah.
Not that I've been, I've only seen on videos that it gets very dusty.
Guys, we need to manifest that Will can come to Coachella next
You've
year.
been, haven't you?
I have been.
Yeah, I love it, to be honest. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I just don't feel like brands invite boys.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I
The
don't
only
think.
boys that I saw there were Americans. There was
Yeah.
no British boys. Other than one Love Islander I saw and was like, that's random. But
Who?
other than that, Joe,
Oh,
Garrett?
yeah. I
he
did
was
too.
there. Yeah. But other than that, there was no boy Love Islanders or just boys in general there from UK, really.
Yeah, nuts. UK brands, hit up me because I'll be down.
Literally.
Or even female brands, I'll get in bikinis, I'll do whatever to get on the trip, to be quite honest.
Ami, you're in with Pepper Mayo. Tell him to get Will on.
Yeah, I will tell him.
That's what we did with White Fox when Jessie went. I was like, can I come as a +1? And I was like, Tim, and then I was like, I'll get in dresses, like it'll be good content.
It would be great content.
Yeah,
I'd love
but-
to see you in like a cheetah print dress walking in.
They didn't buy it though.
Whenever Will and I do anything though, like if I go to get my hair done, Will come and get his hair done too. And his content always goes viral. Because like it's pretty standard a girl getting their hair done.
Yeah.
But then when a guy does it, it's just like booms.
So really, they should be bringing you on the
Yeah.
trip.
Girls go, really. Girls go. But
You've
we've
got a year, Will. We'll
I've-
manifest it.
I've got 1 year of manifestation and we're going to be tagging all of the brands to bring me. Come on.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, but we want to hear about your trip. You got back about a week ago?
Yeah. So I got back a week ago. I actually manifested it, like,
Okay, really?
properly. So I booked my flights without tickets to Coachella.
Stop.
I just
love
booked
that.
it and was like, I'm going to go. And everyone was
Yeah.
like, you're mad. And I was like, no, I will find a loophole and I will be going to Coachella this year. So 2 weeks before I got confirmed to go to Coachella,
And when did you buy your
Wow.
flights?
like a month before that.
Okay, because it's so weird that you say that. Me and Jessie were actually thinking, if it wasn't for lambing and having to go on the farm, I
Yeah.
think I would have done it. But we were like, because I know Joe Bags did that. They just booked tickets and went and they were like, we're just manifesting, we're going to go sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we're just going to do.
Next year,
yeah.
Next year.
I'll look after the lambs if you want.
Yeah, you've got to go
Yeah.
out birthing the sheep.
Imagine me doing that.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
know.
like Coachella as a whole, like I didn't really know what to expect because I've never been to like any US concerts, festivals, anything like that. And I think UK's very hardcore.
UK's, I have not brought
Yeah.
Jessie to a UK festival
Yeah, I've
yet.
never been yet.
Yeah,
I need to go. But I think
Yeah.
Australians have a lot of fun at festivals too.
really. Because
I
I
found-
always see like the UK US crowd
Yeah.
versus, and like it's so different.
We're grim here, I think.
We
It's
are
got-
mad.
We're talking about people like fill up bottles of piss and like chuck it.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't know what fun that is. Do you know what I mean? Sitting-
Coachella's completely different. To
Yeah.
that.
Coachella
Like,
is so clean, isn't it?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
like when I went, it was like I felt like it was like the fairyland of festivals.
And
So I
like,
was
there's
like,
no like, you know, like people just leave like cups on the floor. You get like bottles, nothing like that. Like everything was really tidy. But like the people there all just look famous. Even if they're not famous, you think they're famous.
Yeah.
But I think that in America anyway. I just think everyone there looks famous.
Everyone is famous in America, though, I find.
It's the
Do you know what I mean?
actresses. They're all
So
like, I act.
Yeah.
I'm like, do you now?
what was your expectations before going?
Okay.
Like, could you obviously see everything on social media and what happens before and
Yeah.
then actually going? Like, were there main differences?
Yeah. I think expectations are always going to be like, I had such high because I've always grown up watching it.
Yeah.
Like when I was 7, I used to watch like all the vlogs and stuff, like growing up watching that. So I think when I went on to actually being there, you do kind of go like, oh, it's just a festival. Like it's not like, oh my God, it's amazing. But it is amazing compared to like Reading Festival in the UK. So like when you put it into comparison, it's like, wow, this is cool. But I do think the first day I was just really overwhelmed. Like I didn't really know what was going on. And I was just trying to kind of get like the, understand where everything is because it's so big. And like VIP section itself is like huge.
Yeah.
But Pepper Mayo actually got us artist entry tickets.
Yeah, I
So
saw
we were
that.
like living it up in artist.
And we were all just watching jealous going, oh
my
no,
God.
please.
The
Well,
artist
yeah.
passes, because that's like literally Alix Earle and all that go in
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
Like
so it's really rare. Like I don't think many of the other brands that were there
I've never
had
seen.
artists. But basically the only thing with artists is you think like, oh, that's probably where all the artists go and get their drinks and food, but there's no food or drinks in there. So you have to go to VIP to get your drinks and food, but then you can go in artists and they have like the camper vans where the artists actually like get ready for
Is
it
that
all.
like security? Because I reckon I'd like have a couple of drinks and then just go knocking on everyone's doors. Like,
Yeah,
hello.
yeah. I saw actually a video of Charlie XCX outside her one and thought, why didn't I see that?
Yeah.
Like, what the
Oh.
hell? But to be honest, we didn't really go in that part for a lot of it because it's kind of just like you just walk around, see famous people. But
Yeah.
I am like such a fangirl. So
Yeah.
like I was walking around and I was like, oh my God. And I'm like nudging my friends thinking, when people do this to me, I feel so uncomfortable, but now I'm doing it to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, I need to stop. Like,
Yeah.
I actually need to stop. I went up to a few people, but like, I just thought I'd let them be. Like, they're at Coachella. They probably want to live life. So
Yeah.
I didn't really talk to too many celebrities, but I saw so many.
So
It's
who
crazy.
did you talk to? Which celebrities?
I spoke to Louis Tomlinson, One Direction.
Really?
Yeah. I went up to him because I was just like, this is so weird.
You
Like,
can't
Is
not.
he the one dating Zara now?
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
apparently, I don't know.
Was Zara there?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay.
No. He was with his boyfriends. Like, there was like a group of boys.
Yeah.
And they were all just like singing along and dancing. And I was like, oh, Louis, can I get a picture? He was really sweet, to be honest. But he said, oh, I'm really drunk, so I'm going to put my sunglasses on.
Oh, nice.
Aw.
So
Oh, yeah.
put his sunnies on and got a picture with me. And then it like went viral on like One Direction side of Twitter.
Yeah,
Everyone was
I
like,
can
Ami
imagine.
Charlize spotted with Louis. And I was like, oh my gosh,
Isn't
they're
that so
fans.
weird though? That like you just this is how I feel when I see like someone really famous. I
Yeah.
don't like look at them as like a normal person, which they are.
Yeah.
It's like for him to be like, oh, let me put my sunnies on because
'Cause
I'm so
he's
drunk.
drunk.
It's just like such a
Yeah.
normal thing, isn't it? But like hearing it just seems so weird.
It does. And I think when you see them in person, you're like, they are actually real. Like, they
Yeah.
don't feel real. Like,
Yes.
he's such an icon. Like, I grew up with all my friends being like One D obsessed.
Oh,
so I was like, this
100%.
is so weird, like just seeing him there. And then I spoke to Alix Earle. She was really nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
need to know about Alix Earle, because I feel like your content and Alix Earle's actually kind of remind me a bit of each other.
Mm.
She's like
Obviously, you're a
number
lot
one
younger.
idol. Like, I love Alix Earle and
She's
Braxton.
just like living the dream.
Yeah.
Like when I look at her TikTok, I'm like, this girl's always so happy. She's just like living life on the edge. Her outfits always slay.
But I also love that she kind of like shows the acne. Like, she knows she's got really bad acne sometimes. When she shows about her acne, I think like that's really nice because she still makes herself feel really normal and like seen for
100%.
other young girls. So I really like Alix Earle. But I went up to her and was just like, can I get a picture? And then my phone wouldn't work.
Oh, I hate
And
that.
I
That
was
is the
like, this
worst.
could not be worse. And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then my friend Kenzie's trying to like make small talk while she's standing there. And I'm like trying to get my camera on, like, oh, we need the flash. And then Braxton, I was like, Braxton, can you get it?
Braxton there too?
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
like, I need
God.
to get Braxton because my dad loves Braxton, obviously from NFL. So I was like, right, let me get Braxton in, let me get Alix in. So you got the picture, and people have always said like she's meant to be really rude. I can confirm she was not rude whatsoever.
Really? I
She took
haven't
her
seen
time.
that.
She
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
rush. It wasn't like a quick and bye. Like, she stood there after and said like thank you and whatever. But yeah, no, she was so nice. So I really liked her.
Okay, I'm really happy that she was so nice, because
Yeah.
you do hear like mixed reviews about everyone. But what I
Yeah.
think, the more famous you are, the more people you meet, and like you can't be in a good mood 100% of the time.
No,
So like
no.
if someone catches her on a bad day, or when she's busy or she's feeling like insecure, you might not get the personality you see on TikTok.
But you probably
which is
feel the
just-
same when people ask you for pictures and you're like
Yeah.
having a bad day. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when once I was really arguing with my ex-boyfriend and someone came up to me and I was like, I'm actually on the verge of tears, but it's
Yeah.
fine, I'll get the
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
she probably thought, oh, she wasn't that nice. But then people that meet me on a good day probably think, oh, she was really nice, you know? So it kind
Exactly.
of depends. But I think I met so many of them there. And then also when I was in LA, like, I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard just seeing so many famous people.
I was living through your TikToks.
Oh my
Will
God.
was too. You
Yeah.
can't
I
like.
had like
Yeah.
30 TikToks one day.
I know, I was like
like,
loving it.
it was
I
great.
felt like I was there, but it was one of those moments when you're at home in bed and you're just watching all of the TikToks of everyone at Coachella. You do just feel like crying.
Yeah.
And you're like, please,
Yeah.
I want to be there.
No,
I think
it was crazy.
we had so much FOMO this year, and I think it's because you were putting everything online. I was like, okay, it actually just looks like you're having the best time. So that's why we're really hardcore manifesting for next year.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah. But sorry for posting too much.
It's
Honestly,
okay.
my
We
TikTok
loved
was
it.
probably like, what is going on? Ammy's like never posted these many
Yeah, it's
videos in a
nuts.
week.
It's
I
good,
literally
though.
was like spamming. I was like, whatever. But then one that really stood out, because I have to say it, Madeline Arg.
Oh my God.
Like, I honestly, people were like, why are you dancing with Madeline Arg? I was like, I don't know myself. So basically, you guys probably don't know Hailey and Jules LeBlanc, do you?
No.
Bratayley, they were a YouTube family.
Maybe.
Probably
I'm
not.
really bad
They're
with
quite
the
like
names.
my age. Like I feel like everyone my age is like, oh
Yeah.
my God, but like my parents and my sisters didn't know who they were.
Yeah.
But basically they were like huge on YouTube, and I used to have a fan page for them. So I was like, oh my gosh, like that's Hailey and Jules. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up to Hailey. So my friend went up to her first, and I went up after and was like, oh, you're friends with Mike, because I know quite a lot of her friends. So I was like, oh, I know Coco, blah blah blah, that we were talking. And then like I looked left, and it's just like Madeline Arg. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I love Madeline Arg.
Yeah.
But like also I was like, I'm not going to intrude. Like I just felt awkward. It was literally the minute I stepped in on my first date. So I'm just trying to get like a feel for it all.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, there's Madeline Arg, whatever. And then I looked at her, and she like looked back, and I was like, oh, she looked at me. And then I walked like past her and around, and we stood there and we were trying to figure out where to go. And there was like a big group of us, and she just grabbed my arm, and I was like, I looked at her and was like, what
is happening right now?
And she was like, I just wanted to say like, I love all your videos. And I was like, what? I was like, you watch my videos? I was like, I watch your podcast every week. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
And then we just had a really good conversation. And then she was like, I'm going to Benson Boom. Do you want to come? So we all went with her,
Nice.
partied, sang, whatever. And then she literally was just giving me like such nice, like little life messages, just being like, I know you're really young. And she was like, this is what I'd kind of like say for you. Like, you're smashing it, all of this. And then she was like, I know about your bullying story. I was like, how does Madeline Arg know all this stuff? Like, she knew so much about me. And I was like, this is so weird, because she's like one of my favorites ever. And I didn't know what she was going to be like in person, because I listened to her podcast and I feel like we'd be best friends, but you never know what they're going to be like.
Yeah.
She was even nicer in person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's really.
Yeah.
I feel like every time like you meet someone that you like look up to or watch or things like that, it's always such a nice feeling when they're like on the same wavelength of what you thought they were going to be like.
I've actually still never met anyone that I've been like, they weren't nice.
Yeah.
Me neither. I hear stories about it all the time.
I know.
But then, like, you being like a fan of someone and then finding out they're a fan of you.
Weird.
How did that feel for you? That's like a big canon event.
Yeah, I literally just looked at her and was like, I literally went on my dreaming. I was like, what the hell is going on? She was so nice. And like, just even prettier in person. I just really love her.
Oh, no,
Benson Boom act as well looked phenomenal from TikTok anyway.
Yeah, I've seen him before, but I didn't know who he was last time I saw him.
Yeah.
So like, I don't really listen to radio. I'm always just Spotify.
Yeah.
But I listened to him when I was at Summertime Ball, and I was like, oh, he's actually really good, like the backflips.
Really
and like the
cool.
dancing. And I was like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And then when we was there, he was even better. I was like, wow, he's really, really good. On
Yeah.
stage, he's even better, I think.
And who was your favourite actor?
Charlie X, yeah.
I knew you were going to say that,
Yes.
because watching it, I was like, I felt like, obviously watching it on TikTok, that's all I can go.
Yeah.
But like everything was like, it was a brat festival.
I know.
Like, and her performance just looked unreal. Just
Well,
like really good.
I thought Billie was going to come out. I said to everyone, Billie Eilish is coming out. And they were like, no, she's not. She came out.
Yeah.
I was so gassed. Like, I love Billie Eilish the most. And basically, I've had like really bad luck meeting her in the past and seeing her live, because I was meant to see her in 2019. But I was meant to go with a group of girls, and then they actually turned on me and started bullying me. So I couldn't go because I had no one to go with back in the day.
Yeah.
And then I was meant to see her at Reading Festival. My friend fell really ill. We all had to go home. So twice now I've
Not good
missed
luck
her
with it,
concert.
yeah.
So when I got to see her just sing one song, I was like,
yeah.
I've made it in life. I've made it in
Yeah.
life. I peaked. She was incredible. But yeah, no, Charlie, I didn't actually know what I was going to think of her, because I feel like I love pop singers, but I've never really got into her. Like, I just thought she's always been around. I've always heard her
Very
songs.
TikTok songs.
Yeah.
She is very
Yeah.
TikTok songs, isn't she?
But I didn't really know what to expect. And then when she, oh my God, like honestly, her performance, I was like, wow. And Travis Scott, he was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were my two favourites, I'd say.
Did Lord come out the week you
Yeah.
were there? Oh my God, I was so jealous, because Lord
Yeah.
hasn't made music in years.
No, I know.
Since, like,
so everyone was
2017.
freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, my friends were like, oh my God, but I was just like, where's
so
Billie?
jealous.
Where's Billie?
Yeah,
In my
yeah,
head,
yeah.
I was like, I don't even care right now. I'm like, where's Billie? But Troye Sivan,
yes,
he come
love
out
Troye
as well.
Sivan as well.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who these people are.
Oh
but
my God.
It was so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
I bet you next year there's not even going to be a good lineup.
I didn't think the lineup this year was amazing.
I feel like a few years ago they had like Harry Styles.
Yeah.
Did they have Beyonce one year?
Yeah, Beyonce had.
No, they've had big people.
They
This year they
had.
could have done better.
Yeah, they had huge. I think I would just want to go for the experience of it. And just like understanding it, and because I would just want to compare. Is everything that I see online the same as when you go, sort of thing?
Yeah, I guess you do see the really glamorous side on social media. I know that there's lots of like crazy after parties, like there's Neon Carnival, and like all the big celebs go to all the after parties. I actually was just being a grandma. I didn't go to any of the after parties.
I didn't go to any, but what's her face? Madeline actually offered me to go to Charlie XCX's one, but there was one ticket.
Actual after party?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I couldn't go because I had my friend with me, Kenzie, and I was like, I'm not leaving her by herself.
Yeah,
like, that's not
course.
fair.
Yeah.
So I said, I would love to, but I can't. But then Neon Carnival, that was a 21. So we had to go collect our wristbands like a few days before, and they obviously ID checked, and we were like, well, we're not 21, so we're not going to go. So we sunbathed instead. Nice. But yeah, no, I think it was nice because we get home. I probably went to bed about 2 a.m. every night because by the time you get back, it just took so long. But once we got into bed and like you've posted all your content and you've gone to sleep knowing that everyone's waking up seeing it.
Yeah.
Then when I woke up at like 10 a.m., I was like, lovely, I've had a great sleep. Like I'm revived now, you know?
Literally.
But after 3 days of it, you do kind of get like, whoa.
That's what everyone that I've spoken to that have gone with brands that said that's like the most intense thing, because you want to get content for yourself, which is really hard, but then also content for the brand as well, and then you also want to enjoy the experience as well.
Thankfully, Pepper Mayo were really good. Like they didn't want us to post too much. It wasn't like a heavily like Pepper Mayo.
Yeah.
But obviously we wore all of their clothes and people loved the outfit, so that was always good as well. But no, I feel like I don't put pressure on myself for content. If I get an Insta pic, I get one. If I don't, I'm like, oh, well, I still enjoyed myself. So
like you're kind of like our Snapchat everything anyway.
Yeah.
So everyone sees the real side of everything.
Snap saw everything. I was like screaming to Billie Eilish, and everyone was like, is she okay? And then someone actually made like a clip on TikTok, and it was like Ami Charlize caught at Coachella. And it was me like screaming on my Snap, and I was thinking, I love it. These poor people. But yeah,
it's funny, you forget with Snapchat, like people are actually there, but I feel like Snapchat's such like a friendlier place.
I actually had a call with them yesterday, and they were talking about you guys. They love you guys.
They're the best.
I love Snap. Lucy's my favorite.
Oh my God, we love Lucy. Shout out Lucy.
Well.
Yeah, literally, I love it. It was the best.
Yeah. Oh.
When you're in the festival, because this is something that I hear of a lot, it's expensive in there.
I paid like £25 for like chicken nuggets and chips.
Yeah.
So I think that is quite expensive. Well, that's heavily expensive.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah,
£25. So that would have been like $35.
Yeah, which I just think is nuts going in there.
Yeah, but to be honest, I don't drink.
Yeah.
21. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to drink, so that's fine. No price of anything other than waters, but waters are like $5 there.
I thought waters was really cheap at Coachella. Everything else was expensive, but I thought water would cost more for some reason.
When you buy a water, then you can refill it, and then it's free the whole night. They have really good refill stations.
Oh, fine.
Like, everywhere you go, there was a refill. So
you don't get that in England, do you?
No, not
That's
really.
what I feel like when I go to festivals there. You actually spend a heap on like just normal stuff if you want food or water or different things like that.
We wanted to take photos at this lemonade stand, and then we were like, we can't just take photos there and not buy anything. So we bought a lemonade. It was a tall one, but it was $17.
For a lemonade?
For a lemonade. No alcohol, anything in it.
One thing I will say is their merch was cheaper than I expected. I bought a top and it was only $35.
Oh, that's so good.
And when I went to like Gracie's concert in Sabrina, I paid probably like 65, 80 quid for a top.
So that's what everyone says at Coachella. Like when it turns to night, it actually gets really, really cold.
It wasn't cold.
Was it not?
No.
Oh my God.
Was it cold when you was
freezing
there?
when we went. I actually got changed because we went to a day party and then came back to the accommodation because we needed to drop Chloe Burrows off.
Why?
She was done for the day.
She needed
Didn't
to
make it
tap
to
out.
day
Like,
one.
she does not surprise me at all.
I know,
She's so funny. Oh my
and then
gosh.
when they dropped her off, I quickly ran inside and got changed.
Nice, smart.
So
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was that cold. It really wasn't. It was so hot everywhere and I was sweating. But then everyone was like, bring a jacket. I'm so glad I didn't. I didn't need it.
That's
really
good.
Didn't need it. Yeah.
And then did you just go to LA for the festival? Did you stay before, after?
I stayed a week before. So I spent like a week in LA.
Nice. So not getting the jet lag or anything like that for the festival?
No.
That would have been horrible.
Yeah, but the flight home was awful. I could not sleep.
Really?
And it was so cold. I got like a really bad cold from the flight.
Yeah. You get that all the time, don't you? You
Yes,
get really
the
ill from
aircon or
flights.
something.
Yeah, it blowed, like, literally was blowing on me. I had to get into 2 pairs of joggers. Thankfully, Pepper Mayo stocked me up.
Yeah.
I like dripped out in Pepper Mayo on this plane, but I was freezing and I could not sleep. So if I'd set that flight, I think I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, then the jet lag kind of hit me worse.
Getting back is just horrible, isn't it?
But it's really annoying. The time zone's the only thing that I hate about LA. Because it's like, it's so hard when like everyone's going to sleep. Like I kept calling my mum and be like, do you like my outfit? And she's like, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, that's
like,
the same with like Jessie with her family back at home.
Yeah.
Like actually
It's
trying to
just like-
talk to them. It's actually finding time is actually really difficult because it's either really late for them and they're getting ready for bed, or
Yeah.
it's like vice versa.
What is the time difference?
It's like, I think it's 8 hours at the moment.
Right.
So like,
Same as LA.
yeah, if I was going to work, they'd be coming home from work type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But I know in the middle of the day, I can't really contact them. But then sometimes it's 11 hours, the time difference, which I don't know how that fucking works.
When the clocks change.
Yeah, when our clocks go forward and their clocks go back, it creates
11 hours?
Yeah, a times difference.
You just
that's
don't
really
talk
bad.
to them. Don't
Yeah.
talk to
Yeah, I'm like, sorry guys, I'm not ignoring you. just,
I'm in
just look at my
Stanley right
Snapchat.
now.
them. Yeah, literally.
At least they can live like seeing you through your social medias.
Yeah, 100%.
But moving on to, where are you in your life? Are you dating? Are you living single girl life?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying?
Yeah, I told everyone that I won't have a relationship till I'm 23.
23?
Okay, smart girl.
I'm just a liar. I probably will. It's me. But at the moment, I'm just happy where
It's
I am,
me.
to
Am I
be
the
honest.
problem? Maybe I'm the problem. You seen that TikTok?
That is probably me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like I've been on a few dates, but nothing crazy. I don't really care.
Do you find it difficult, like dating? Because I feel like everyone on your TikTok is so like involved in your life. And like if you post a TikTok with someone or go to an event with someone, it comes up in my For You page, like these people, your new
poor thing.
boyfriends, etc. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I'll literally like comment on like a boy mate's post and everyone's like, they're dating. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm really not. Like he's my best friend. But no, I think it's really difficult because also you don't know boys' true intentions. So like it's really difficult in general for me to make friends, I think. And then on top of that, having relationships, because everyone like my age group kind of all know each other, you know, it's just that kind of thing. And like you don't know whether boys are only with you because of your social media.
Yeah.
And like you never know, like obviously you're meant to trust your boyfriend, but what if you can't because he'll go and tell people things or whatever. So it's definitely difficult and I've learned that the hard way, but like it's fine.
yeah, I
We
was
get
going to
through
say,
it.
have you had people that have dated you and more so been into like the fact that you're such a big personality on social media?
Yeah, I had one bad situation with an ex where like he basically said like, oh, obviously when I got with you, I knew that I was going to gain a following.
That is just horrible, isn't
Yeah.
it? That is just no. I think I'd lose my fucking shit.
Yeah,
Like,
no, it was kind of sad because I actually quite liked him, but I didn't like him that much after that.
Yeah.
Oh my
If you know
God.
what I mean, that was just like a end goodbye. But I'm quite fortunate that the people that I had before hadn't like used me for that because they knew me before it.
Yeah.
So like one of my exes, like I knew him since I was 10, so I knew that he obviously didn't care about
Yeah.
social media. But from now on, it's very difficult, I'd say.
Yeah.
And like friendships are just the same. Like you don't know who you can trust with friends and stuff.
No, 100%. And even like with dating, like not only do you have a following on social media, but you are such like a stunning, down-to-earth, smart girl.
Thanks, guys.
So it's like you really are the whole package. And it's such a shame that people will say things like that, like to get a following and shit.
I
Like,
know. It is really scary. But I also think like now I'm very happy with like my close knit friends. Like I don't really need a big friend group. I don't really need like all these fake friends. I have my people and then that's kind of it, you know?
That's what we like find. Like when everyone goes like who are your friends? I would actually just class Jessie as my friend. Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
nice though.
do you know what I
know?
mean? And then like I have friends like outside, but it is really hard to kind of like differentiate, especially in this like line of work of who you can trust, who you can't trust, and everything like that. But I actually do just like it like this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think the smaller the better.
Definitely. And I think I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah,
Because I just wanted friends so bad growing up. Like, you know, when you're at school and everyone's got the big friend groups and you're like, oh, I want a big friend group. We can all go here and here and here
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
But now I'm older. I'm like, why did I care? Like, it's really not that deep.
Yeah. But you've mentioned that you did go through bullying in high school.
Yeah.
And then you even mentioned that you were supposed to go to a
high school. It's just school.
is it just
I love high school. I feel like an American for the day.
Jessie says it all this
High
time. Like
school
in high
separate to
school,
school.
then we have
Secondary school and primary school.
Yeah. High
But
school
high
does sound
school-
better though, doesn't it?
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of schools near me call themselves high schools.
really?
Yeah. So
Oh, we didn't have any schools near us. It was just secondary school, isn't it?
Yeah.
secondary school?
secondary.
Yeah, we have like kindergarten, like primary school, high school, and then college.
That isn't that different to us then.
No, it's not.
America's worse.
Yeah, I don't get
Sophomore
America.
years. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, what's a sophomore?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
So you have mentioned that you've gone through bullying in high school.
Yeah.
And then you also mentioned that you were going to go to a Billie Eilish concert and then the people turned on you and bullied.
Yeah.
How have you coped with this and still come out with a big smile on your face?
I think I'm actually not lucky or fortunate at all that it happened to me, but I'm glad that it happened to me before I did social media properly, because now hate comments do not faze me. Like, I'm like, I could not care less what you think. I've had it worse at school, do you know what I mean? But when it first started happening, I didn't cope very well. And like, I literally thought of Billie Eilish as my kind of like coping mechanism, because she used to do really sad songs and I used to cry my eyes out to her. And I loved her. But I do think I've kind of got to a place now where I'm like, it's made me a stronger person, but I just wish I was the person I am now back then, because I would have been so different. But I think I was just a bit, obviously everyone's scared when they're at school, and it's so overwhelming when like everyone has an opinion on you and they see you every day. Like, I remember I used to get so nervous of having my hair in a ponytail, because I'd be like, everyone's going to see me in a ponytail.
School is actually a really scary place.
And then I go on my Snapchat now, woken up, literally hairs everywhere, and I'm like, I don't care. But I think it is a really scary place, school, and like, you're so young and everything that people are saying to you really does hurt more than ever. And 100%. I think I just wish I had a closer knit friend group at the time. I had one best friend and he is like my rock, like literally. I've been friends with him since I was like 7 anyway. We did ballet together. He's like my best friend, Jude, and he literally like had me always, and if I ever needed anything, I knew I could go to him. But even the group that he was with, like, they had a bad opinion on me because of what people would say at school, so then they didn't really want me in their group. So it was always really awkward, because it was like I couldn't bring him away from his friends, but like I couldn't go into his friend group because they didn't really like want to know me or whatever. But it is funny because now, like, I went somewhere for the Euros final, and a group of the boys that bullied me actually come up to me and like hugged me and was like, we're really sorry for what we did to you. And I was like, I'm glad that you've realised, but like also I couldn't care less now. Like, I am on a different wavelength to all of you. I really don't care anymore.
If you could give your younger self a piece of advice now, what would it be?
Oh my God. Do you know what? I actually don't have any like one thing that I'd be like, oh, do this, do that. I think I would have just said to myself, don't retaliate. Because I just thought like arguing back was like a good idea. But now I'm like, I literally was just fueling them up for more. And like, as soon as you give them what they want, they're going to carry on. Of course, if you stop giving them that, they won't do it anymore. But I think at the time, like, I was just so angry at everyone. And I was just like, why would they pick me out of everyone? And also, I just feel like I'm glad that I still did social media, because I don't know how I did that. Now I look back, I'm like, how did I still post TikToks when I was getting bullied for it?
Because look how far you came, and they probably did not think you'd get this famous.
It just makes me laugh now, because when they posted like hashtag For You page on their videos, I'm like, you don't deserve
you
that.
look at me now,
But it does make me laugh a lot, because it's like, I'm just glad. One thing that I would never change was the fact that I still carried on doing it, even though I was getting so much backlash for doing it, you know?
Yeah, and this shows as well, you had people at school trying to bring you down. They probably could see how far you actually will go. Like, they probably knew how much of a gem you are. And that's the reason they were insecure and putting it on you.
Yeah.
And you've pushed through and trusted yourself. Like, when you couldn't rely on the people around you, you relied on yourself. Yeah. And look where you've got yourself.
That's
like,
why
you
I
have
always say you
so
only
much.
need yourself. Like, you don't need a big group. You don't need anyone. As long as you know yourself truly and know what you are as a person, it doesn't matter what other people think.
Yeah. And there's probably so many younger people on social media that are going through what you've gone through. And when they see how, like, you've strived through it and how successful you've become, you're probably their inspiration.
Yeah, I love it, because like at my meet and greets, people come up to me and be like telling me their stories and be like, because of you though, I'm still posting on TikTok. And I'm like, well, you will go far in life because you're doing that. Because if you let them win, you're never going to do what you want to do. Like, you're just always listening to what bullies say. So I think it's really nice that like young girls and young boys come up to me and say that, because I think as much as I know what they're going through and I feel for them so much, I'm so glad that they're not letting them people win.
100%.
You know what I mean?
And yeah, like I said, you'd be inspiring them though to keep persevering, keep being themselves, because a lot of people, like, when we first started social media, our friends were like, you know what I mean, giving us the side eye, like screenshotting it and sending it in DMs and like laughing at us for doing it. We literally have stuck by and pushed through. But then we probably don't talk about that as much, but because you were so open with it, everyone can relate so much with your story, which I just love.
I just think I've always been an oversharer, always. Like, I love telling people everything, and I think that's a good thing and also a really bad thing at times. But I think when it comes to my followers, like, I just want them to know everything and be so transparent, because then they feel like they've got someone to relate to. Because I think there's a lot of young girls on social media that are just trying to be like an older person. And like, I get sometimes people say, oh, she acts older than she is, but I'm just genuinely feel like I've been through so much that I'm a bit more mature now than I was when I was 12. But I think I've had such a great, I don't know, community around me that never have I been like, oh, I want to quit because of what people were saying or whatever. Like, everyone is always so nice to me. So I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah. Everyone's nice to you because you're a very, very lovable person. Like,
Thanks, Jessie.
the response you're getting is because of you and the way you are. So you should be very proud of yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, it can be hard sometimes when like, when everything's just going wrong and then you're like, oh, I've got to go and post a video now.
Yeah.
It's when I have to film an ad and I'm like, I've had the worst day of my life and now I've got to go and put a smile on. But I think if it is getting to that point, I just take a break for a bit. And no one notices because I still have content to post,
Yeah.
100%. I think that's like, that's the most important thing, especially in social media, to understand or know when you do need a break, because we have it all the time, especially like when we argue or bicker and things like that, and it's like, oh, now we have to do a video together.
That is one thing I'm so grateful for. I don't have to do that with someone, because if me and my sisters did it together, god damn.
The amount of like arguments and like fake smiles like behind the camera, and like little do they know, like 2 minutes ago we were just like biting each other's head off. I was like, oh my god.
But then when we do the TikTok, we always just start having fun, and then we like forget about the bad mood.
Jessie giggle or smile.
Yeah, like he makes you laugh.
Crack a little smile.
And then it's over. The argument's done for now. That's so funny.
So you've got best friend Simon Cowell that you've met up with him a couple of times.
Yeah.
Backstories behind that.
Okay, so I got asked to go to his house. Through
his actual house.
His actual house, yeah.
By who?
Through his production team. And they just said to me, like, can you come to Simon's? We'll get a car to pick you up, take you there. You get to film content with him. So I was like, yeah. Simon Cowell. So I went to his house. There was like 5 other influencers there, and they were all like practicing their videos, and I was thinking, I've got nothing.
What, like practicing what they were going to say with him?
What they were going to say. Even some of them had like dance routines to do in front of him, and I was thinking, I'm not this kind of influencer. I film my videos the day of without knowing what I'm filming.
Yeah, same.
So I was like, great, right. And then they're like, can we have a brief? So I've given them like 5 videos. They're like, this one definitely can't happen. This one can. This one can't. And I went up to him and I was just like, what is going on? Like, there's cameras everywhere just filming us. And I was like, nice to meet you. He was so nice. Like, I was so scared because I think I've grown up watching BGT and X Factor. I used to go and miss school to go watch X Factor all the time. Like when they had their, do you remember the 6 chair challenge? Did you watch X Factor?
Well, yeah, I did.
When they had the 6 chairs and they'd all have to sing and then they put you on a chair and then they could take you off the chair.
I do remember that, yeah.
I used to go and watch that live show when I was like 7 and miss my school to go and do that. And I used to love, like, X Factor was my thing. I loved it. And I have family that have been on it and won it and stuff like that. So like we loved X Factor back in the day.
Sick.
And I was like, yeah. But my mum was like giving me pep talk. She was like, say this, say that. And I was like, Mum, it's fine. I'll be fine. But I think she was so excited that I was meeting Simon Cowell. So I was like, right, let me go in there. And I think because I don't really get like overwhelmed by meeting famous people, other than something happened in America that I was like, I saw Kendall Jenner, she was like, me to you.
Oh, really?
In a gym. And I was like, I've never freaked out.
In the gym, so just working out?
Yeah. I went to Aloe, I did Pilates. I looked back and it was Kendall Jenner, like, me to you. And I literally just stared at her. I couldn't speak. I actually went silent.
Was she more stunning in person?
Yeah.
I knew she'd be one of those
And she was
people.
sweaty, had an ab workout and still looked that good.
Oh my God.
That's the only time I've been starstruck. Other than that, I don't really get starstruck over people.
What's there like bodyguards and things like that?
No. It's an influencer-only gym. So you have to get invited to go to this gym.
No, but like, will there be bodyguards like waiting for her outside? Like, does she walk
I think there's
around?
like a back route to get out and like no one sees them and stuff like that. So probably bodyguards.
And you didn't know she'd be there?
No. I was just working out.
Like, imagine just like looking over and Kendall Jenner was there. Like,
yeah, so like I was standing up and then like literally where you are, Will, I just looked down and she was there. And I was like... And like no one was talking to her but her friend, and I thought, I can't even say hello. Like she's gonna be like, who is this Essex girl? Like, go away. So I just like I literally just walked past and was like, oh my God. But when I was there, that was the only time I've been starstruck. So when I met Simon, I didn't really get like the whole I don't know, even though he's so iconic, I just didn't feel it. Yeah. So I just spoke to him like he was my dad. I was just like, can you do this video? And he was like, yeah, sure. And then I'm telling him to do it and he's doing it so wrong because bless him, he's obviously not a TikToker. Like when I had you guys on my podcast,
he's just a dad.
Will was the only boy I've ever had on my podcast that was ace in the TikToks. Other than that, I'm not going to lie, Millie and Liam came on. Bless his heart. Liam was like, what is going on? And obviously I had Will before, so I was like, the expectation was high. Bless Simon Cowell. He's never done that stuff before. So I'm like, can you say this? And it's taken
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, Simon. And again, you can do it. I know you can do it.
Yeah.
We got the perfect take. And then I spoke to him for a bit and he was just so lovely. And I was talking to him about like, I think I was going to LA. I hadn't been yet. And obviously he does America's Got Talent, which is filmed, I think, in LA.
Yeah.
But he lives out there sometimes. So he was telling me about like where to go and stuff like that. And then like 2-3 months later, hadn't heard anything. And then they were like, oh, Britain's Got Talent's coming back and Simon would love for you to come and film more content. So I was like,
okay.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Reunion's coming.
Yeah.
And then I went back and saw him again and we had a really nice conversation and he remembered everything.
Yeah.
Like he remembered about like, oh, how was LA? And I was like, how does he know? How have you remembered that? So nice. And one thing I will say is like every single person in that room, even my manager, he took the time to like shake her hand, say hello and introduce himself. Like everyone knows who you are, Simon.
Yeah. And
But
he's huge. Because I feel like I'll be watching like the most random TV show. I think I was watching like a Scooby-Doo spin-off, like cartoon version, and like he was in it.
Really?
Yeah, he's like literally on everything. I think he was on like...
He's massive.
Yeah.
He is like Britain's like finest, you know what I mean?
Him and then I'll put like Ant and Dec, like that like trio.
Yeah.
All together sort of thing.
Yeah, the icons.
And then you're there teaching him how to do TikToks.
Honestly, I don't know how I get in these situations.
It's smart though, isn't it? Like it is really smart, like from a content point of view, because he is just the dad as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's so normal as well. Like the way he was talking to me, like I just felt like it was one of my dad's friends that's come around for a cup of tea. But having a cup of tea with Simon Cowell was highlight of my life.
Highlight of the
I don't think I ever get better than that.
I don't know how I'd react, to be quite honest. I think I'd.
You guys
I
would
get
have
intimidated a bit,
Yeah.
but you're very confident. I've noticed, and like how you went up and asked Alix Earle. I saw Alix Earle at Coachella too, but I was just like, oh my God, I can't. I felt really scared.
We did that. We had dinner.
I wish like I was with someone like you. Because
I was dragging my friends over to everyone.
I would love that though.
I was like, we have to say hi. Other than Kendall Jenner, that was my wimp moment. I was a proper wimp that day. But I met Ariana Greenblatt, who was in Barbie, the little girl. And she's like an icon. She's my age. And like me and my friend were like, you do it, no, you do it, no, you do it. And I went, hi. And then she come over to my friend and was like, I use the lip liner that you use. And then we got in a massive conversation with her. So like they're all really nice, but like you just got to have the confidence to say something.
Yeah.
We did that. We were out for dinner in Ibiza and in Old Town, and Rita Ora was just like stood next to us like shopping.
Icon.
And Jessie was like, go take a photo. And I was like, no, I can't. And I was just like frozen in my chair. I was like, I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, no, it is a bit awkward sometimes. But the thing is, I'd rather be able to say I had a conversation than got a photo now.
Yeah.
But back in the day, oh my gosh, I used to queue up in meet and greet queues for people. Like Saffron Barker, you know Saffron Barker?
Yeah, we love Saffron.
I literally queued in her queues for like 4 hours.
I think I've seen like photos from years ago and then her being on your podcast and like once again like a huge 360 moment for you.
It was a massive, like she's someone that I've grown up watching for years. Like Zoella, do you remember Zoella?
Yeah.
I mean, she's still around. She's a queen.
I used to watch like Casper Lee and all of them.
Yeah, I used to go
boys.
to their book signings and like meet them when I was like 5, 6.
Well, that's what happened with Amber, Casper Lee's wife now. So
Do I know her?
Maybe, but they've just got married, and she used to be a fan of Casper and would like go to meet.
I know, I've seen this story actually.
Yeah.
That never happened for me.
And then they just got together. And I was like, wow, that would be just. And
that's like great manifesting.
She always posts videos of like it's really funny of like her when she would like go lining up and like have these meet and greets and things like that, and then it's like, oh, now he's my husband.
Yeah,
and it's just like crazy.
Imagine like making your celebrity crush your husband.
Hailey Bieber.
Oh my God.
Are we forgetting about the most iconic one of all time?
Yeah.
Like that girl manifested her spot. I actually love her. I hate the slander she gets because I actually really like her.
Are you Selena or are you Hailey?
I love Selena too, but I don't think there should be like a. I don't know.
Putting
Like,
them
get
against
over
each
it.
other, yeah.
Get
like,
over it.
Justin and Hailey have a kid together now.
It's different now.
But I feel like all the social media edits, they make it look really sad about when like Selena and Justin were together.
But look how young they were. She's happy. She's got I think they're fiancés now.
Beyonce.
Benny Blanco.
Benny Blanco, yeah.
So like she's happy. They're happy. Why is it still like controversial? I don't know. But
everyone will like
I love
screen.
Hailey.
There are some pretty funny like screen recordings of like Justin giving Hailey the side eye. And then
Yeah.
they'll just post that in comparison to a video of him and Selena.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how Hailey deals with that because I would be like, nah.
I'd be a psycho.
Yeah.
I'd actually have to like,
Yeah,
I don't even know what I do.
Freak the fuck out.
I think I'd have to break up with him. I'd be like, I know you're Justin Bieber, but like I can't do this
do with it,
anymore. No.
Did you see him at Coachella? Because he was there.
I saw Tate McRae. and Kid Laroi. They walked past.
They were with them.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't see them. So I think they might have already been there or they came later.
You saw Hailey last year.
Yeah, we saw Hailey the last year. She was just in the crowd.
Jessie predicted she was pregnant. She came home and I kid you not, she was like, I know, like she's pregnant. Like,
really?
And this was before she'd come out as pregnant.
So we were there to see Thames and Justin Bieber came on as like a special guest. So we were just in the crowd and then Justin came on the stage for one song and then Hailey was just in the crowd by herself.
It's so
weird.
weird.
So we were just standing there. I think she was like making her way to the front. And then at Coachella, she just had loads of jackets on and like her belly was sitting out, like just a tiny bit. But then I was also like, no one else had jackets on. I was like, she's hiding her stomach. And then I looked back at all the other photos from Coachella. I was like, yeah, she's 100% pregnant, I'm telling you. But she was just in the crowd.
What the hell?
And then because like we were in a row.
This time they had like a barrier for them. So I couldn't actually go up to take McRae.
You couldn't.
You know, if I could, I would have been
I
there.
don't know what she was doing in this area. So a few of the girls got a photo with her, but it was like really blurry because she pretty much just went and then walked straight past and I couldn't get the photo. But I don't care because we like saw her anyways and she was really lovely. But I was like, what are you doing here? She's just in the crowd by herself. Yeah.
By herself as well. Where's her security guards?
It was so
She's
weird.
so big time to me. I feel like, whoa, what are you doing here?
I feel like Justin just went on the stage and didn't tell her. And she was just like running to the stage.
I'll be back in a minute, babe.
Yeah, I'll be back in a minute. Have you seen all these videos of him recently, like at clubs?
Dancing.
With Sexy Red. Yeah, this is the lady that I was telling you about that came out.
I have seen this.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on?
Are they doing a song together?
Probably.
Yeah.
I would like that actually.
I've seen it.
If you go on Justin Bieber's Instagram, you'll see.
He's like posting videos of him at a club with another rapper.
She like walks in and like kisses him on the cheek and then sits down.
It's very random. Don't know what's going on
That's
there.
what I'm saying. Like Hailey must be so strong-minded.
Yeah.
Because
respect.
Yeah, she doesn't let this get to her. She always has her head held high. She's always really classy because she has
look at her brand.
Yeah.
She smashed it because I wish I could come out of a road and make it that cool. Yeah, she's really done well. So I really like her.
Yeah, we love her. Would you ever come out with your own brand?
Yeah, so I am.
I did see that. It's soon, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's in September. But it is so perfect. Like I have aced this brand to a T now. Yeah. It's really funny because all my memories on Snapchat came up from 4 years ago, me writing a mood board of this brand.
For this specific brand. This brand. Now that is manifestation.
Yeah. But this was me like back in the day. I used to like talk to people and be like, will you make a brand with me?
Yeah.
I was 14. Like they didn't want to make a brand with me.
I love that though, that you were already like putting things into action.
So like with my old management before the one that I'm with now, I used to say to her all the time, like, we need to make a brand. Like I really want to do this. I've got a really good idea. And I'm not gonna lie, a few brands have taken my idea now and I'm like, oh.
Really?
But it's just taken so much time and like it's took about a year and a half already.
A year? Is that a year and a half from when you kind
started the concept with this person that I'm making it with? Yeah.
What is it? A collaboration? You and someone else?
No,
it's you and the
manufacturer.
It's me with
yeah.
So there's like a whole team of us that have kind of come together and they are all like so successful in other ways. So like one of them owns their own brand, one made concepts of very big brands. So all together we've like come with the dream team. But it was more like I wouldn't actually understand every single thing that I'm putting in these products before I just come out with a brand.
You can't do it yourself unless you know how to like make recipes and stuff.
Also,
like who knows that
I have to be wearing it every day for me to like it. If I don't actually wear it, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I'm very specific with my skincare and my makeup and my hair care and everything. So if I didn't know I loved it myself, I couldn't come out with a product for it. But the brand is, it's so fun. I'm so excited
for you.
Inspiration behind it? Is it something
there's a lack of it.
Okay.
And it's for girls, I guess.
Girls, boys. It's actually going to be quite unisex. I don't want it to just be for like girls because I think everyone struggles with this thing. So like it's to kind of help them all out. But it's just amazing. Like
I'm trying to plot in my head, trying to figure out.
It's just so exciting for you as well. And I think for younger girls as well, like you've got the kiddie brands and then you've got the really mature brands. But there's nothing for like teen girls that want to like experiment but not be caking themselves with stuff on their face.
Yeah.
That's what I've kind of gone for. So it's going to be really exciting.
That's really exciting.
Look at you go. So you've released a book, you've got a podcast, you're doing a brand, and you're literally not even 18 yet.
I know. But thankfully, what I'm kind of grateful for is that the brand will come out just after I turn 18. So it's a really nice, like, I'm 18, here's a brand, you know?
So you're 18 in September?
August.
That's your birthday present.
Yeah.
Is there big birthday plans?
Oh, yeah.
Big 18?
We have got, I I've just looked at venues recently for my 18th.
Yeah.
My 18th party will be in September because I'm going to Ibiza for my actual 18th.
Oh, yeah.
So we're flying from Marbella to Ibiza on my birthday.
Did you go to Zante as well? Did I see on your
Honestly,
story?
I don't know what's going on with that. It's all up in the air.
Party.
Party. But I'm really excited. But yeah, for my actual birthday, all of my girl mates are going to come to Ibiza with me.
Yeah.
And then after Ibiza, I'm going to fly home. I'll be 18, so like I have so much work that I can finally do because of my age. It's held me back so much. So I can't work with certain brands. I can't do certain things because of my age. So when I'm 18,
never thought about it.
Brands
like
will be
that.
so happy to snap you up as well.
finally, some of these brands, they're like, when you're 18, I'm like, I've been sitting here since I was 12 thinking, please,
Yeah, like, counting down the days.
I've been waiting literally got like a checklist going on, like 10 more days, 9 more days.
Well, when we first met you, I think you were 16 and you were already like being like, oh, it's only 2 years till I'm 18.
I know. I've been waiting my whole life and everyone's like, don't wish your life away. I'm like, no, I am.
Yeah.
No, I am.
I found that when I was younger, I was like, I can't wait to be 18. And then when I was like 18, I can't wait to be 21. And then it was like, I can't wait to be a couple of years older. But now I'm like 26. I'm like, oh, dude, I'll do anything
to be back at that age. Yeah. That's what everyone tells me. But I'm like, do you know what? I don't really think I'm going to want to be 17 ever again because this age is so awkward.
Awkward age, yeah.
It's such an awkward age. All my friends are turning 18, going out clubbing like every single weekend. And I'm like, guys, do you want to go for a meal and go home? And they're like, no.
Wait for me.
No. They're like, no, we're going to go clubbing with our friends in Manchester. And I'm like, well, I can't go.
Yeah.
So it is really frustrating. But until I'm 18.
That is an awkward stage because I remember
But being August is even worse.
Yeah, because you're like almost right at the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I had friends whose birthdays were way earlier. They were all started to go out, and it's like you're kind of just like wait and be like, oh, when is it my time?
When is it my time? And I've still got so long. I keep telling myself it's not going to be long, but it is feeling very long at the moment.
Once you're 18, the wait's over.
Yeah.
But you left school early.
Yeah, so I left school when you can leave school.
Yeah.
So at 16, you do your GCSEs, which is like your final exam, and then you can go and do either college, sixth form, or an apprenticeship. But I decided not to do any of them and just do full-time social media.
Yeah.
So it's actually been really, really helpful. At first, I thought, oh my God, like, I don't think this is going to work. I'm going to have to go back to college, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as I signed with my management, it was kind of like a bit stressful because I left my management in July. School goes back in September. So I started a brand new management and then went like full time. So it could have went one way or the other. I could have had no money. I could have been like really suffering or I could have done really well. But I'm just so grateful for my management. They've helped me out so much. And then I've obviously put in a lot more work now than I did when I was at school.
Yeah, I see you really busy all the time. Like, you know, people do underestimate like the work behind the scenes for social media, especially if you're doing things such as writing a book and starting a brand on top of it and doing your podcast. Like it is a big workload. Do you think leaving school was good for your mental health?
I think it was amazing for mine only because I suffered so much at school. And I think the only thing I wanted was to get out of that kind of like environment. I didn't want to be in that environment anymore. And I wouldn't have been able to stay at my school to do sixth form because I didn't get the grades because I loved what I loved, and if I didn't like the subject, I didn't really try. I'm not going to lie, that was the way that I just kind of worked through my school.
You're putting your passions and loves into different things.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I was great at sports studies. Like I got like A stars in that. And then when it came to like maths, I was struggling and scraping the fours. But you guys probably don't even know what fours are, do you? I think a four.
Did you do that? We did it. We had like A, B, C, D. But then I think like a couple of years after it went to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Right? So like a 1's really bad.
Same concept.
A 9 is like amazing.
Same concept with like A's and A stars. I don't know why.
Well, they just convert it anyway. So like, well, why did we even go to the numbers? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
it's
at
really
all.
Confusing.
But yeah, no. So basically, for me, it was like, oh, I really, really don't want to go. And my parents were like, you're going. Like my sisters, well, one went to uni, one did college, and then went straight into jobs. So they were like, no, you're going to sixth form. And I was like, guys, I don't want to go to sixth form. Yeah. And it took quite a bit of persuading because obviously they've had such set rules for my sisters that for me to be like, bye, I'm going to leave. They were like, no. But we made it work. And obviously like now I don't look back. And it is like a lot of work at times. And like sometimes I go through my calendar and think, oh my God, when am I going to be able to see my friends? I'm like, Jesus. But also at the same time, I think it's really nice because it doesn't feel like work ever. Yeah. I don't look at this and think like, oh my God, like busy day at work tomorrow. I think, oh, fun. I get to go and pick out makeup products. Do you know what I mean? It's really not work in my eyes.
I always find that with things that you love, if that's in any certain job as well, if you love what you do, it doesn't feel like a burden being like, oh, I have to get up and do this or go here sort of thing because you love it. It's almost like you're excited. You want to do it sort of thing.
I just love what I do so much that it doesn't even feel like a job. So I'll keep it that way.
Which is the way to be. Well, you left school early too to go to the farm, and you love the farm.
Yeah, I did.
So it's
I kind of like fucked up in all of my exams,
right?
And then I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. Daddy, I need to work on the farm. I don't know what I want to be when I'm older.
So was you 16 when you did that?
16, yeah.
Turning 17, obviously, because
Turning
going into
17.
that. Yeah, okay. Because a lot of my friends have dropped out of college now already. Like a few in the first year of their college, they're now just working in normal office jobs. Yeah. Because some people just don't get on with it.
I feel like there's so much pressure to stay in school, and it's like you have to go to school and you have to go to university, where I feel like if that's what you want to do and that's the route that you go down, then that's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. But you should never feel pressured and be like, this is the only route that I can do to get a good job or succeed or anything like that, because it's just not the case.
No, and like with you with the farm, you're quite a creative person and a bit more like hands-on. I love a hands-on thing. Yeah. I can't do academic. Like I'm not an academic person. I really suffered at school with dyslexia, like really bad. And like my school were like helpful, not really, with the dyslexia stuff. So it made it even harder for me to try actually like learn things that I had no interest in. But as soon as you give me something and go, try do this, I'm really good at it. Yeah. So I think I was always like really creative, but not academic. But then like my best friend is so academic and smashing it and going to university, and she's doing really well. So I think it's like, don't put pressure on yourself to be like everyone else.
Yeah, I agree. Like school's not a one shoe fits all.
No.
Whereas you're all there doing the same tests, the same learning style. We're all very different. And
so different.
You guys are so creative and are absolutely thriving. I studied so hard to try to go to university, literally worked my ass off, stressed myself out, and then I never went to university.
This went on Love Island.
So
work done. I know what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Yeah. I love it. No, I actually love it. And everyone that I know that's done like TV and stuff has said the same thing. I think it's funny though, because you guys like kind of lived, I don't know, like your teens and your adult kind of coming different into adulthood so different to how I do, because obviously I've been doing it since I was 12 and you guys got into it when you were a little bit older. So you've kind of like made the friendship groups at like the 17, 18 mark. I can't really do that now.
Yeah. So what's it like with friends at the moment? Like, do you still talk to people from school? Is it weird having friends that maybe aren't on social media and then
I love it. I love my friends that aren't on social media. It feels like a complete like escape, and like I feel like a normal 17-year-old again, because sometimes I think when I'm in the industry for too long, it's just, I don't know, like you get so much pressure I think in the industry when it comes to like posting, but also it's intense as designer bags, all of that. Like it gets a little bit heavy on that. And I think when I get to go back home and my friends are like, well, I can't afford a Costa today, I'm like, this feels great. Like I feel like I'm back with my friends a lot now. But no, I have like a very mix. So I have like dance friends that I've been friends with since I was younger, still in contact with now. And like my best friend Eloise, I met when I was 6 doing dancing, and we've always stayed friends. She's gone to university in Leeds now. Like we've completely different, but we still have so much in common. And then obviously Jude, my friend from school, I'm still in contact with. And then there's a few people from school that I still speak to, but like many. I think we're just all so different. Like we all kind of grew up a little bit and like realised that school isn't the end, you know, there's so much more to life after. And they're doing all different things now, and I'm really happy for them. But we catch up, but that's about it.
It's hard because especially at that age, I know when I stayed at home and went to the farm and everyone was like going to college or like uni, everyone does like travel out, and it's like finding time where you're all in like the same place or you don't have to travel. It's actually really difficult.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like all my friends have moved to dance colleges now as well. So it's like when they're back for the weekends, I'm like, oh my God, yay. And then I'm like, I'm actually in LA that weekend. I'll be back next month. You can see me when you're back.
But it's always nice when you have like those few friends that you just, like your friend Jude, you know they're always going to be there. And even if you don't see each other for a couple months, like it's always the same when you go back to them.
Always the same. And then also obviously I have my social media friends that like I'm so grateful I have them, because having girls my age in the industry is really rare. Like there's not actually many girls that do it my age. No. And I feel like I'm always surrounded by like older girls, and I love that. But then when you get to have like your friends who are your age who experience the same stuff, it's really nice to kind of like relate with them.
Yeah.
So 100%. Like Naya, one of my best friends. I think you've met Naya before.
Yeah, I have. She's lovely.
I love Naya. Yeah. So I was literally just with her, having a sleepover with her. So I feel like I've got like a really nice mixture of like social media friends, school friends, and then like just normal friends that I just made through life kind of thing.
Yeah.
With friends, what would you say green flags for friendships are?
Do you know what? One for me, and like no one else would think this, because then if you don't do social media, you wouldn't think it, but if they're constantly whipping their phone out, that's a red flag. So if they don't like always try film with me, I like that. Because I think a lot of my friends don't do that. But I've had friends where like we meet up and it's like, I've got this video that I want to do with you. And I'm like, no.
Oh, what, like a TikTok sort of thing? Yeah.
Like they've got like pre-planned content that they want to do with me more than when it's
just
like
you feel like, oh, it's not because you've come here to see me or spend time with me. It's like, oh,
you want to prove it to other people that you're spending time with me, which I think is a major red. So I'd say a green flag is when they don't do that.
Yeah.
Also, like, just friends that are, like, up for anything. Like, I'm such a, like, YOLO person. Like, I'll just be like, okay, let's go there. Let's do this.
That's the same
and I don't think a lot of my friends are different to me on that. Like we're all on the same level. And also it just comes to things like, I don't know, green flags is like when they can deal with the fact that I do social media and they don't get jealous by it, but they're really supportive, because non-supportive friends are a no-go.
We were talking about this on the podcast a few weeks ago, like competitive friends. And it's like, how do you even deal with having people that are competing with you? Because you don't want to assume that people are doing it, but then you've kind of like got to trust your gut instinct that like the vibe's off.
Yeah, I've definitely had friendships where like I can tell that that's kind of like the core part of our friendship, is that it's a bit like competitive and like challenging. But I feel like, I don't know, people like that, they're just obviously not your friends. And you know what to do.
And then like we said this on the podcast the other week, you're the inspiration. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if people are trying to compete with you or if they're jealous of you, it's kind of a compliment. I mean, people can do mean things and whatever. Yeah. That's their problem, not ours. Yeah. But like if people are going to be jealous of you, it means that you're somewhat inspirational. So actually it's a compliment to us.
And it's probably a good thing. Even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
I feel like we could chat for ever, but there's two. We always finish on like the agree to disagree questions. Okay, just as like little snap ones, and it's just like we will just read out a statement and then you can just agree or disagree with it. And so the first one is, anyone can become an influencer. Do you agree or disagree with that? And then we will play as well.
I think it depends on like what influencer, like how influencer we're talking, because everyone can do social media content. Yeah, great. Yeah. But like actually be an influencer and influence other people. No, not everyone can. It's quite rare.
You do see that, like people with like, I've seen people with like 16, 17, 18 million followers who have a lot of followers or content, but the influence that they have on people isn't
that high.
Yeah, they can't.
But then there could be people with 200k that like I watch and I get influenced by everything they're wearing.
Yeah.
So I think, I don't think anyone could be an influencer, but I also think anyone could try be one and see how it goes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like on the cusp of that one.
Yeah. Comme ci, comme ça.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of French that is comme ci, comme ça.
Whatever that means.
Comme ci, comme ça is like yes, no. It's like
yes,
no. That's how I remember it at school. They made us do that. Yes, no.
At least you learned something in French. I definitely didn't.
In Australia, it's just yeah, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Next one is, influencing is harder than people think.
I think it's so easy and fun. But then also I understand that it can be difficult for others more than it is probably for me. I think I just think it's fun, so I don't really think
that's so good that you enjoy it so much.
I love it. I don't think it's that like difficult.
That's kind of like what we were talking about before, though. When you love something, it just seems so easy.
I think if you
it depends how you think about it.
Yeah, it's like you probably, and same as me, because I love doing TikToks and like posting content and doing dances.
Yeah,
I just think it's like, it is easy because I love doing it, and if I don't get it right the first time, I'll just carry on doing it, and it's not like a burden or I find it difficult or anything like that.
No,
because Jessie, on the other hand, if I'm like, no, you're not popping it, bitch. Like you need to
more energy.
I'm like, you need to give me a bit more energy, and she's like, no, I'm not fucking doing it. You're doing it. I'm like, no, you need to work. I said to her last night, actually, I was like, we need to teach you how to like sexy dance a little bit for your TikTok.
I was like, I've got old girl. I know. I was like, I've got old girl followers. I don't care. I feel like my followers, if I actually try to be hot and stuff, they will not like it.
Tell everyone what you're doing.
I was pretend. I was like, should I dance like this? I was like, pretending to make
the pop in the locks and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I just think like it depends how you kind of. I think your view on everything is so important, because if you have a positive mindset on things, it becomes positive. If you have a negative, like some days, obviously, I'm like, oh my god, like I've got to film a YouTube video, and then I'm like, that's the easiest job in the world.
That's what I say. I'm like, when I know I'm going to get paid for a job, I'm like, I'm getting paid to do something that's going to take me a day.
Yeah.
Like, and when I even had a full-time job, I posted on Instagram for fun. Like, I was already posting online. I would still be making TikToks if I didn't do it for a job.
Yeah.
Like, I do love our job so much.
Well, I didn't actually know like the money side of social media when I first started.
Oh, either.
I used to get gassed when they'd be like, do you want a free pencil case? I'd be like, yes. Yeah. Oh my God, my day is made. I'd be like, Mum, you won't believe it. That £12 pencil case is now free. I'm getting that for free. Like, I was gassed over that. So I think because I've been so, like, I don't know, I was so unaware of like money side of social media. I just thought people did it for fun.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, it is still for fun.
So when I started earning money off social media, I was still working on the farm, and my granddad still was running it, and he basically said, you have to leave the farm because the money you're earning off social media, you're stealing, and you can't bring that back to the farm. He said, it's not your money, it's not real money. And he was like, you have to send it back or you can't work on the farm anymore. And I had so many talks of like him and my dad and be like, no, this is like a job. Like you can do it, you can earn money. But they were adamant. They were like, no, you can't do that.
Granddads, don't get me started. No. They don't understand.
No, they don't.
I think I sit there and tell my granddad every single roast dinner we have, this is what I'm doing. And he's like, yeah, but you're not doing page 3. I'm like, no, granddad, that's not the thing anymore. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm literally just posting me doing makeup. People enjoy that. And he's like, really?
Yeah. It is really, really good.
Grandparents don't understand.
No, I know, it's crazy. I remember my first ever like brand deal thingy was like years and years ago when I had like 50,000 followers, and like GHD paid me $150 and they gave me the GHD straightener, and I was like buzzing because those things are expensive.
That was what I used to get for Christmas. And then when I get it like in the post now on a random Tuesday, I'm like, what is going on with my life?
I literally thought it was a scam. I was like, they're not going to give me the money, but I'll take the straightener if they end up sending it. And sent me the straightener and I got the money. And I was like, this is like weird.
Even just getting the free products, I'm like, give me more. Give me another lip gloss.
Oh, don't, because I get to the point where I'm like, Jessie, give me your giftings and whatnot, because I'm opening them. I'm like, I'm just like a kid at like a Christmas tree. I absolutely love it.
Every day is Christmas. That is the best part, I think, definitely.
But thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having
I feel
me,
like we
guys.
can actually just sit here. I'm like really conscious of the time as well, but I even like running. But thank you so much. I feel like we could sit here and chat all day. But everyone watching, thank you so much for listening. Remember, like, subscribe, give us all of the good stuff, please.
Love ya. Bye.